All right. So the day of surgery, right? So my surgical time was 8:45 a.m. I needed to arrive at my surgical suite by I think it was 7:15. So, you can get up, brush your teeth, don't swallow any water, anything like that. Dress in comfortable clothes. I had some lounge pants, something easy to take on and off. Gentlemen, I would recommend the same for you. Ladies, comfortable sports bra, tank top, anything you feel cozy in, t-shirt, hoodie. Just remember, you're going to be a little sore after surgery, so taking stuff on and off, just think about that. You want it to be easy. Nursing staff will be there to help you, but you want to be comfortable, right? Um, I got there, they got me signed in, everybody's masked up. It's that COVID era, but everybody at my surgical suite was really amazing. Uh, Real quick check-in, no delays, none whatsoever. My sister did drive me. She was not able to come back with me. Um, Depending on where you're located, your hospitals and surgical centers may have similar policies in place. So I did tell my sister, I said, look, hey, I don't expect you to sit here in a waiting room with, a couple miscellaneous other people given the pandemic environment. So feel free to, if you need to pop back to your apartment or if you got to stop in the office to take care of something real quick, I'm definitely not going anywhere, right? So they did grab me on time. Ladies, just something for you to think about. Gentlemen, this doesn't apply to you, but they will screen you for pregnancy. So if you do have to excuse yourself for a quick bathroom break, do mention that you need to, because there is going to be a nurse who's going to chase you down and tell you that, like, oh, hey, wait, we got to do pregnancy test. So be prepared for that. They will check for that, and I expect any surgical team to check for that ahead of surgery. um, they took me back. I had a really great pre-care nurse. Her name was Patsy. And we talked about Invisalign. I got Invisalign too, so she made small talk about that, to keep my mind off things. And I was very honest with my team. I mean, through the door, I shared, surgery makes me nervous. I'm a terrible IV stick, so that kind of gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, but I'm here and I'm as well hydrated as I can be for you, and I'm in good spirits today. So, I'm just giving you that heads up. This is not my favorite thing to do, but I'm gonna breathe through it with you if I can, and I'm gonna be in the best spirits I can for this. And she was lovely. I had another pre-surgical nurse. His name was Lee, and June. His name was June, and he came back to see me too. And we talked about my challenges with IVs, and I told him about my good hand. It's my right hand. That tends to be the winner. And he said, "All right, we'll take care of you." And they came in. And they did give me some pre-surgical medication. They gave me a little cup, a little teeny glass of water with maybe just a baby sip of water. They don't want you getting sick. But it was some medication for, I think it was Tylenol. They did give me a medication for some nerve-related stuff to kind of help calm down any nerve irritation. And they said they also had a Valium for me. So again, please always communicate with your surgical team, because not only, Valium is great for anxiety, but Valium is also great for muscle spasms. So this is something that they will give you to also help prevent, stiffness and muscle spasms post procedure. At least in my case, that was for me. Um, I was to change everything off. Surgical gown opens in the back, compression stockings all the way up to the thigh. Not the most sexy thing I've ever worn, but for these kinds of procedures, they do worry about clotting and DVT and all that stuff. So guys and girls, be ready. You're going to be in some thigh highs all the way up. They will get you situated in a pre-op gurney. They will bring you some warm blankets. They will put some compression boots on your legs. They will give you some no-slip socks. And they will kind of explain everything that is going to happen today. They will talk to you. They will reassure you. They will ask you about the procedure you're having. And I must have said it a million times. I got L5-S1 bulging disc, right side, and we are going to have a microdiscectomy today. They'll check your wristband, confirm your date of birth, confirm your name, go through any of your allergies. I have a couple of them, so that was noted, pre-surgical, got my wristband for that too. My anesthesiologist, that is Dr. Lee, that's where that name comes in there, came in to see me. We talked about it. I had my Invisalign out, talked to me, looked at my mouth, asked me about any sort of anesthesia problems I've had in the past. Knock on wood, I haven't had any. And he said, we'll make sure we get you taken care of and get you ready to go. June came back in, got that IV started on the first try. I couldn't thank him enough. I told him I loved him. So, I'm always really grateful when somebody gets me on the first try and doesn't make me sweat it out for a little bit. And I remember looking at the clock and I said, ooh, it's 8:30. We're getting close to start time. And my physician assistant, Jeremy, came back and head to toe all geared up and ready to go. And he kind of walked me through what to expect and what their outcomes were, expected. And we kind of just reviewed things about where I was at in my head with my expected outcomes. And we were all very much on the same page. Dr. Patel came in shortly after that. And he asked me about my pain, and always be honest with your surgeon about that. I said, hey, my right leg has been doing better, but I will share with you, in the last day or two, I've started to develop a little pain, general pain, just to the left side, just a little bit, nothing radiating down my leg, nothing weird. But I said I associated it with one, coming off of all of that medication and supplement I had been taking. So the naproxen, glucosamine, all that good stuff. I said, maybe this is what my body feels like when I don't have all this anti-inflammatory, medication and supplement in me. And I said, and I also realized that over the course of the last 5-6 months, basically, of being in pain, that I've compensated for the pain I feel on my right side with things to the left side of my body. And, we talked about it for a minute, and we all agreed that pain was probably indeed due to the fact that I had been compensating, for pain that I felt on the right side. So we, nothing to be alarmed about, no radiating pain, nothing weird, nothing new on that left side. We talked about what to expect, and Dr. Patel said, you should wake up, you should be feeling a lot better. When you come out of recovery, you are going to be sore like you had surgery. He did say, be aware. When we get in there and we do some work in there, that's going to irritate that nerve a little bit. So don't be surprised if during your healing process, you feel a little of that familiar sciatic pain. But it should be temporary. You may feel little zaps, but that should be it, a little zip and over. But he said also, don't be surprised if you feel a little bit on the left side too. You could feel it to the right and the left, but that is temporary. That is all part of the healing process. Inflammations is, response to surgery. Don't be alarmed by that. But when we get you up out of here today, you are going to be comfortable. We will make sure you can walk. We will make sure you can go to the bathroom. We can make sure that we're going to get you dressed and we're going to get you home today. And I said, okay. And they walked out, and I remember I looked at the clock again and I said, ooh, it's 8:40. We're almost ready to go. I was starting to get a little nervous, and sure enough, 8:45 came and they snatched me up out of that pre-op room and they walked me back into the OR. And they didn't hesitate. They didn't have me waiting long. I was very happy again for that Valium they gave me in pre-op. I could kind of feel that wash over and take some of that anxiety away. I was still a little nervous, obviously, but they brought me into the surgical suite, put some oxygen over me. They had told me all of this was going to happen. We're going to put some oxygen on your face. Nothing's going to happen. It's just to help calm you down, let you get a couple good breaths in. We'll start the medication. You're going to sleep or wake up. It's all going to be over. They got me in there. I got to see a couple faces that I knew faces, from here that I knew that were all masked up. I said hi to everybody and, hey, let's all have great outcomes today. And Dr. Lee, my anesthesiologist, said, all right, we're going to get you started. It's going to burn a little bit, which it did. You know, anesthesia does feel a little burning sensation at the top of your hand. They said, just take a couple deep breaths. That's going to help that pain dissipate. And then that was it. They said, think of something great. And I was like, I love my sister so much for driving me to surgery today. And that's the last thing I remember. Surgery, knock on wood, went relatively quick for me. I do remember Dr. Patel in pre-op telling me that he expected surgery to go no longer than an hour, but he had booked the room for up to 2, and he said if I need that time, I would take it. The after surgery conversation that I had with my sister, because the team was amazing, and they stayed in contact with my sister from the point of first incision to, you know, we're almost done, we're getting her closed up, and she's headed to recovery. I mean, it was bam, 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 bam. Dr. Patel called my sister directly and said, I want you to know we're all done. We were able to finish this up a little bit quicker than we thought. I mean, 40 minutes of surgical time, which is insane. You know, at least to me, I cannot believe that something that has caused me pain over the course of 8 years, as much as it has and been so disruptive to my life, was something that was so, sorry, something that was so easily remedied in 40 minutes by an amazing surgeon. I mean, it just blew my mind. I remember them wheeling me back into recovery. I remember kind of taking a look around, and I asked what time it was, and they said it's about 11:30 a.m. You did great. You're amazing. You know, you weren't even in the operating room that long. You've been in recovery longer than you've been in the OR. So we're going to get you up. We're going to make sure you're comfortable. We're going to get you something to eat. We're going to get you something to drink and make sure you're feeling all right, okay? And I was like, cool. They told me they called my sister to let her know that, you know, I should be on my way to go home within the next maybe hour, if that. They got me some crackers. They got me a Sprite. They did stop by. They said, how you feeling? And I said, I'm a little nauseous. I was still kind of seeing double at the time. I couldn't quite focus on things. So they said they would bring me some, and I said I was also uncomfortable. Not terrible on pain, but I definitely was feeling uncomfortable. So they did bring me another little teeny cup, and they had medication in there to help with the nausea and a little something for the pain. And they said, we want to make sure you were good to go when you're ready. And I was like, cool. So I had my Sprite, and I had some peanut butter crackers, and I started to pep up, and my vision kind of slowed down a little bit. I wasn't seeing two of things and people. My physician assistant came to see me post-surgical. He did some, neurological tests. He was, pushing on my feet, push away, pull away, that kind of thing, just to make sure that, I had similar strength in both my feet. And, how did this feel? How did that feel? How was I doing? And he said to me that I did really good, and that I think when this is all, when you're recovered, you are going to be really happy you did this. We got in there, we cleared out that herniation, we got you a little more space in there that you're going to need, but we think you are well on your way to making a full recovery, which was very reassuring. And he said, how do you feel? And it still makes me cry a little bit when I think about it. Because I woke up with my feet laid straight out in the bed, and I haven't been able to lay down like that comfortably in months. I mean, it's the little things you don't think about, right? It's all of the ways you've accommodated the pain that you feel in your body just to get comfortable in bed or on the couch or just sitting down. It's stuff that you took not for granted, but you never thought about it as hard. So to wake up and feel that pain gone was amazing. So, right? So I want you to know that, surgery is scary, but coming out of that and feeling that relief is really a truly amazing thing. And I hope that for everybody. I hope that for everybody who ever has to go in and have this surgery, who is in that level of pain and in that level of living your life in different ways to try to accommodate that pain, that you can wake up and you can feel relief from that. And you can go home and it's almost like a light switch. I mean, I won't say it's completely off, but in that moment to wake up and feel it turned off is kind of amazing. And it's amazing what medical science can do with such a teeny tiny incision on your back, right? So, day one, got home, a little tired, a little crap. I mean, anesthesia always makes me a little off for a day or two. The ride home wasn't bad at all. My sister was very careful and very gentle with me, and I love her so much for it. She apologized for every little bump and every little stop we had to make along the way. But I mean, it didn't take long for us to get home. It didn't take long for me to get in the house. I was a little slow. I mean, that's to be expected. I did have some odd nerve pain, but nothing outrageous, nothing crippling, nothing that really made me think really hard about what I was doing or how I was doing it. But I do have I live in a tri-level townhouse, so my surgical team had just said, when you're doing stairs, we want you to pay attention. Use the handrails. Take the stairs one at a time if you have to. Like, you don't need to go running up the stairs like you always do. Really think about what your body just went through and move about it accordingly. So I did have to take stairs kind of one at a time. Like left foot up, bring my right foot up. Take the left step up, then the right foot up. So just little one at a time. So my sister, she took those stairs behind me and we got me upstairs, and I had a little bit to eat. I had a little bit to drink, and I have a whiteboard that is in the wall in my kitchen. And the smartest thing I can share with you is to sit down and write down a timeline of your medication. So think about your bedtime and what you need to take around bedtime, and then build out backwards from that point. Because my first day or two was kind of us struggling to figure out where to put my medication in the best way to keep me comfortable. Obviously, on the first day, your first post-surgical day, there's going to be some anesthesia in your body. There's going to be some local. I'm sure they put all kinds of local all up in my back when they were working on me. So that you will get maybe just a small dose, a little bit of false security that all of your pain is gone and you just feel a little bit of burning from that incision. That will wear off. And I do suggest that you take your pain medication. I was prescribed an anti-inflammatory. I was prescribed a pain medication. I was prescribed a muscle relaxer. And I did take those as directed for the first 2-3 days. I didn't take my pain medication every 4 hours. I was feeling pretty decent. I pushed that more toward like the 6 to 8 hour range. I'm not somebody that takes a lot of pain medication. I did express that to my team, and they said, listen to your body. You don't have to do it the way we tell you to do it, but don't get into so much pain that then you start to chase that pain to catch up to it and try to get ahead of it again. When you leave surgery, you're going to feel pretty good. You're going to want to stay in that zone for a little bit and see how you do. So day one wasn't bad at all. Figuring out how to sit down on the couch and get comfortable, that's something to think about. Thinking about getting into bed, that can be a little tricky too. I mean, you're going to feel some hesitation, totally normal. If I can think about it, if I can get a video together for it, maybe I'll show you guys how I did it. I would definitely suggest making sure you've got some pillows laying around. I found it very comfortable to put cushions if I'm, sitting on the couch. I've got this little guy right here behind me. It's kind of wedge shaped and supports my back better than just sitting on the couch. Underneath my knees is another small wedge shaped cushion that's keeping my legs elevated to kind of almost keep me in a neutral, almost weightless, kind of position, so that stress isn't on my back right now. Same thing with being upstairs in bed. I'm a side sleeper. So, I had a pillow under my head supporting my neck. I kind of had one that I hugged with my arms, and then I had another one that I placed between my knees. For me, if I got sore and I needed to change sides, the pain in my back didn't allow me to just roll over in bed. It was easier for me to, push myself up with my hands to a seated position, get out of bed, walk around to the other side of the bed, set up my pillows in the same way. So like a pillow for my head, pillow for me to hug onto, and a pillow between my knees, and then get on that right side. So really, I think everybody just has to figure out what works best for them and apply it. And it is trial and error. But just be gentle, listen to your body. If you're tired, take a nap. They're going to tell you to walk. Absolutely walk. I walk at least 4 times a day right now. And if it's too hot outside, I just walk from my patio in the kitchen to my living room wall, back and forth a couple times around the couch, do loops. When it's relatively decent out, get you some good shoes on. I have a really comfortable pair of flip-flops. I know that sounds counterproductive to, well-stabilized shoes like my Brooks running shoes. But getting socks on, not the most easy thing to do right now, but just to put on a pair of flip-flops or like a general pair of Nike flip-flops. But they have good traction and they're very comfortable. And take a walk up and down the block. Take a walk around the block if you can. I know my surgeon said there are people that take 2-mile walks. Now, I don't think I'm there yet. Like I said, I was a hiker and I've hiked a lot. But I round the block is 4 blocks for me. I tried to sneak in a 6-block walk the other day, and I felt it and I was hurting. So, good spirits, good attitude. That's how day 1 went. Again, very happy with that outcome. Very happy that I had my sister here. And yeah, that's what I have to say about that. So I'll talk to you more about day 2, 3, 4. I'm currently a week and a day out from surgery. So I'll try to get you guys caught up about what that looked like, how that progressed, any little tips and tricks I can think of along the way to make life a little easier in your recovery. But I do hope you find this helpful, because I know talking to all of you and watching all your videos when I was getting ready for this really helped me. Okay? Bye.